So today I'm going to be going over 10 high-class men's designer fragrances that crush some really expensive niche scents out there. Now I have my fair share of niche fragrances. You see a lot of them sitting behind me here on some of these top shelves, and that's not all of them. And from time to time I do try to work them into some videos here and there. But ultimately I try to keep it realistic on this channel. I know you guys want to save money when possible. You want to really stretch your dollar and get the most bang for your buck. And you want to build up a collection of bottles, of fragrance bottles, and not decants and samples, which is kind of the way a lot of people justify having niche fragrances in a bunch of little goofy samples, and then that's their niche collection, right? Because the bottles themselves are really expensive. I don't want to send you guys down that rabbit hole. I want to try to give you things that you're going to like the smell of, that people around you are going to like the smell of, and that you're going to be able to afford without having to go into a bunch of debt. And so with these fragrances here, they're all going to be designers. They're all going to be designer priced. So a couple of things, one of which I didn't go with any Tom Fords or like really exclusive line designer fragrances, you know, things that are getting into the multiple hundreds of dollars, right? That would defeat the purpose. And another thing here is no blue fragrances, right? Again, we're talking about scents that can go up against the niche category in terms of their quality and uniqueness and that sort of thing. So as much as I love my blue fragrances, there are none in this one. Generally, if you were to kind of look at the whole trend of this list, a lot of these are going to be in the darker direction, although not all of them. You know, we're just going over things here that I think are really going to impress you if you haven't yet tried these. So I will provide links to these down below to discounters, so if I do talk about prices in this video, which I'm sure I will, it's going to be referenced at those discounted prices, so make sure you are shopping at discounters. Okay, let's get things kicked off with DUNHILL Icon. Now this will actually be the most affordable one in this video at like $35, $36, 100 ml. This is all about the neroli bergamot musk, basically. Has kind of a grape soda smell off the top, which sounds weird, and even though it does have that, it still has this very high class, masculine, refined, unique smell about it. I don't have anything else in my collection that smells like this, and I can't say that about most things that I have that cost the price of this one, $35, $36. A lot of things in this price point will start to run together and smell similar, but not this. So if you want to have something that stands out among probably a lot of other things in your collection and just among what other guys around you are going to be wearing, and you want to be on a really strict budget, check out DUNHILL Icon if you don't have this one already. Next up, Dolce & Gabbana The One Royal Night. So, you know, most guys are going to be wearing The One or at least familiar with it and have it and wear it from time to time or have smelled it. Okay, so this DNA itself is nothing brand new. However, if you were to invest in one of the flankers, I would say Royal Night would be one of the best ones you could get. Luminous Night is another really good one. The only reason I didn't include that was because availability is much harder to get, especially in the US, compared to this one, which is available at most discounters for a reasonable price. I think you can get 100 ml testers of this for like $57, $58. Full presentation 100 ml for in the mid 60s. It's really not that bad considering it's an exclusive edition. Now this one does lack the tobacco that the one has, but in replacement, you get more cardamom and also more sandalwood. It's creamier, it's richer, it's more smooth. It's a really, really well done flanker and it performs better. And I do think that with those changes, it makes it a little bit more unique, a little bit of a different take on that DNA. It's really addicting and really easy to pull off, and it smells amazing. Next up from Prada, we have Amber Pour Homme Intense. So this one has patchouli, it's got myrrh, some lavender in here, but really to me it's all about the patchouli and the amber. I mean, it's Prada Amber, but you get a ton of patchouli as well. So I want to warn you about that because the type of patchouli used here automatically gives this one a little bit more of a more gentlemanly, mature, classic smell, in the sense that kind of beating around the bush way of saying that it could smell a little bit old manish to some, especially younger guys out there, so be careful with that. Me, being 23 years old, I have really no issues with wearing this one, but again, I've smelled so many things at this point that most guys my age probably would want nothing to do with this. So for guys out there who want something more mature, a little bit more unique, more traditional, this is going to be a great one for you. It's a really strong performer. It's got great quality. You know, this is kind of really what Prada is known for, is just putting out super high class, luxurious things like this. And the price point on this one is not all that bad either. I've seen it for as low as $80 for 100 ml. And as high as like 100, 105 for 100 ml. It just depends. So just kind of do some shopping around and see what you can get it for. But ultimately, I think it's worth picking up just for whatever price you can find it for, as long as you're not paying a ridiculously high amount. Let's keep it moving with AZZARO Pour Homme Intense. And this one has brandy, cinnamon, lavender. So kind of relates back to the original AZZARO Pour Homme a little bit here with the aromatics. The aromatic fougere kind of barbershop smell. You get a little bit of that in here. But then the cinnamon and the brandy accords start to come through, giving it a little bit of a warm, spicy booziness, more of a nighttime appeal, more of a sweetness overall. And that's kind of where this one really shines and where it really sets it apart. You know, AZZARO Pour Homme itself, look, it's a classic. It's another one of those gentlemanly, more traditionally masculine type of scents. Not going to be for the younger crowd generally, but this is such a well done flanker. Going into it, I thought it would be decent. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it is. And when you can get this for about $40 online, 100 ml, it is an amazing buy. Something really different, really unique, really is going to set you apart, and you're going to smell amazing in the wintertime if you pick this one up. Next up from ISSEY MIYAKE, you know, they have some hidden gems, I gotta say. This is a brand, and more specifically, I guess, a line here that is so easy to overlook and just kind of lump everything into the same category, because they have no shortage of fragrances in this line. And you know, a buying guide needs to be done on it at some point. I'm working on that. There's just so many, and it's so easy to look at a lot of them and go, yeah, no, those probably aren't all that good, because they have so many. But every now and then you get a diamond in the rough. There are quite a few diamonds in the rough in the line if you know where to look. To me, this is one of them. This is, what is it? It's NUIT PARFUM by ISSEY MIYAKE. So, you know, there's the low Dissy as well. I mean, it kind of gets confusing. All the bottles basically look like this. So, again, it makes it hard to sift through. But NUIT PARFUM has leather. It's got vanilla. There's some tonka bean in here as well. So it's very heavy on the vanilla, but it's a masculine vanilla scent with that heavy dose of leather in here as well. And that's what really sets this one apart. It's a really nice mixture. Very mysterious, very sexy. Smells great in the evening time and has this real kind of dark richness about it that a lot of other designer fragrances and a lot of other fragrances in this line and from this brand do not have. Ultimately, when you can get this one for about $60 for 100 ml, I believe 125 ml, so even better for $60, $61, that is an unbeatable price for this. Let's keep it moving with Yves Saint Laurent M7 Oud Absolu. So you guys probably remember, if you're OGs anyway, the original M7 in the bottle that did not look like this. I don't even have that, right? That was way before my time, but I know kind of the legacy of M7. And they did bring it back. Now, in terms of differences or similarities between the two, again, I don't have that original, so I don't know. But from what I've seen on reviews of other people talking about them, this more than enough checks off all those boxes. So I guess if it's super nostalgic for you, you can track down a vintage bottle, but kind of defeats the purpose of the budgeting for this video. So just get this one. Usually around $84, and these are, I think they're, what is it? 80 ml, 2.7 ounce, kind of an oddball size, 2.7 ounce, 80 milliliter bottle, $84. Really not a bad price per mil. Really nice oud, orange, patchouli scent. It's a very wearable designer oud, super easy to pull off. Most guys are going to like it. It's not a challenge really, you know, it's a nice entry level oud. And again, it's something different because these days, this is not going to be getting worn all that much, and so it's your opportunity to stand out and have something that has great quality. Next up, Bottega Veneta Pour Homme, just the original here, the Eau de Toilette. This one has leather, fir, pine, and juniper. Okay, so really nice, woody, masculine, traditional scent. Smells like an outdoorsman, simply put. And so if you're into that sort of thing, you're going to love this stuff. And this is kind of what it's all about, you know, it's a scent that kind of brings something a little bit new to the table here and kind of really does a good job of representing an image, you know, just depending on who you are and what you like. You might smell this and it might conjure up certain images or memories in your lifetime. And this is, to me, is just very much an outdoorsy, woody smelling scent, you know, like you're spending time outside, you know. It just has a real nice kind of masculine, traditional smell to it, which I really enjoy. And also the quality is impressive given the price point. Gotta say, guys, really good stuff here, and not for a whole lot of money either. You know, it is a little bit more premium, but again, not terrible given what you get. There's nothing else out there that smells like this one. Next up, we have Cartier Linvol. This is gonna be the Eau de Parfum version here in the weird, crazy bottle. That looks very delicate, but is actually pretty durable. It's got honey, iris, gaiac wood, and musk in here. Now, to be fair, you could probably put just about any Cartier fragrance in this video because they got a ton of classy ones. There's this, you've got Declaration Parfum, you have Pacha de Cartier Parfum. There's a lot of really good ones, and they all smell very high class. I just chose to focus on this one. Now, these bottles are much more expensive, and they have a newer style, which is 2.7 ounce, I believe. And then this one is, what is it, 3.3. So there is a difference in size. You do get more with this, but the price is way off. You know, this is 90 plus and the other one is significantly less than that. So it probably makes sense if you're on a budget to just get the other one. You're not going to need just that smaller difference in juice there. But I guess it depends on what you're after. But the point is, this can be a little bit more affordable than the 90 plus that it goes for this bottle. But this bottle is cool. There's nothing else out there like it, so I can understand wanting to go for this one. But it's a really nice, gentlemanly, classy scent. It smells amazing. It's very strong, so I do hesitate spraying it in here, but I will anyway. You know, the room's going to smell like it for a while. But I mean, that is a luxurious scent. Very rich, very heavy, creamy, sweet, but with a nice aromatic freshness as well. Really unique. Again, nothing else out there like this one. And if you want to smell like the boss, get this. Almost done with this one. Second to last, we have Armani Code Absolu. It's got vanilla, suede, and tonka bean. Some orange as well. Really nice, seductive, sweet vanilla tonka scent with a nice leathery suede accord in here. A little bit of a creamy orange off the top. You guys know Armani Code Absolu, I'm sure, but if you don't, you should. One of the better code flankers out there. You know, if I had to choose, I would say the top three in no order, even though I could probably order them, it would just be hard. It would be this, it would be the Parfum, and it would be Profumo. Those three there are amazing. Probably Code Eau de Parfum coming in after that for number 4. Again, not in any order, but those three are all really good. So I guess you could have put any in this video, although the Profumo, which is a Parfum, could be a little bit more youthful. I think this one has a little bit more class to it, and so does the Parfum. So it just depends on what you're after. But I do think this one has its uses for a little bit more of a dressed up scenario if you wanted to go that direction, or dressed down and more casual as well. I think it can do a number of things really well. And last up for this video, DIOR Homme Intense. So I've talked about this one all the time, and that it could pass as a niche scent, and I really do think that. And man, there's just something so comforting, so addicting, so sexy about this one. The iris mixing with that ambrette kind of chocolatey smell, the musk mallow, and then you get this nice lavender in here, a nice freshness, you know. God, it's so addicting. I mean, there's nothing that I dislike about this one. You know, the performance is great, the quality is amazing, the uniqueness is through the roof. I mean, what is not to like about this one? Well, there's a couple things for some people, and that's it's very powdery, kind of smells like a makeup bag to some. And so, you know, that's something you need to take into consideration. But if you like this sort of thing, you're going to love it. And if you don't, you're probably not going to love it. So sample it first if you want, you know, just be careful with it. But ultimately, when it comes to standing out, having a really premium product for around $100, DIOR Homme Intense is one of the best out there. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 10 high-class designer fragrances that give niche a run for their money. So if you want to stay on a budget, you want to have some designers that can really hang in terms of that uniqueness, quality, all that good stuff with some niche out there, then these are going to be for you. You know, these are really high-end products, in my opinion, that you're not going to be sad that you picked up. So I will provide links down below. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.